So as you can see here, I got all my gear laid out. I'm going to inflate the raft now in a minute. So me and Saku over there can cross this little channel that kind of pinches in to that side over there and into that cove where there's snow. We want to get to there and skirt the sides. It's the best option for us. It seems risky. It's just more about the landing and departing with the raft. Is the ice going to be enough for us to get up on the other side? And is it going to be risky here when we put it in? Time will tell. This morning we start with a bit of a bushwhack here. Stay with me, Zach. I'm coming back for you, Zach. Say I'm speechless. I'm not sure how Saku's going to feel about this, but I'm going to have to leave him on this side for round one. I need to come back again and get the sled and his food and him and my gun. Here, it was important to first test out the situation freely without Saku in the raft. I'll be back, bud. Ah, shit. Made it to the other side at least. Woo! Solid ground, baby. I'm coming back for you, Sack. That worked better than I thought it was going to work. Oh man, when the raft got nothing in it, it's like a feather. Back for round two. As you can see to my left, loose ice pans were moving quickly. It would have been a long and dangerous swim for a young Saku. So like the good boy he is, he waited as told.
Oh, buddy. Now we got round two. You're on board this time, bud. And we got the sled in tow, I do believe. Whoa, this patch of ice just floated in. Things can change quickly. Come over here, bud. Over here. Zach, come here. Sit down. Good boy. Good boy, Saku. Here we go. Come on. Stay. Come on, Saku. Stay, buddy. Good boy. Good boy, Saku. Stay there. Nothing forgotten. And we're on the move. Icebergs, Captain? Straight ahead, he says. Straight ahead. We made it, bud. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Oh my, sick. Okay, so we're gonna load the sled up and keep going. Maybe a quick fire to warm us up, because I just got pretty wet, and only 4 or 5 degrees at the moment. In the first trip of the season, she did a pretty good job.
As you can tell from Saku's view, Burnt Pond River was opening up quickly.
We're now loaded up again, ready to go. Took about a couple hours to pack up, make a few trips over with the raft, and then bring everything over to the little hill here to the other side. And the sled's loaded up now. Here we go, Sack.
With the ice now thin in areas, we crept cautiously. I wanted to keep Saku close, so on the leash he stayed.
So basically now we're just walking the perimeter of Burnt Pond River,
and that's all we can do. We can't cut across any open areas. Ice is just too unsafe, and of course in certain spots it's wide open, like the part we just crossed in the raft. But it's going to be a slow day, but we'll get through it.
Where the river narrowed, the ice had all but disappeared. We had to head for the woods.
We got ourselves into another tangle now. We got around 100 yards of bush to get through until we break free to open barrens that will lead us to Granite Lake. This is the only way we could have came. We can't take the pond side no more. It's unthawed, and this is it. Come on. Yeah, we're skirting across that log. This tiny little trickle of a brook. Should be tangly with a 100-pound sled. Zach, we're walking a tightrope here, bud. I'm gonna try to balance the sled on these two sticks. The brook's not that deep, but deep enough. Zach, go get me a pull. Oh, tangled up there, that's not good. Yeah, there we go. Tough with snowshoes on. Woo! Onward to Granite. One feeling I get out here often, and it's not because it's cold. It's the tingly goosebumps, and you know, from time to time they pass by, and it's just like areas then where I have to go through some dense bush, not quite sure how it's going to turn out, not quite sure what's in there, and you know, it's all part of the fun and games, but it's that thrill, that rush when you're doing something that you haven't done before. You don't know what the outcome is. You gotta love it out here, you do. And as much as those moments are hard and physically tough, man, it's sure is a great experience. That's for sure.
I wasn't the only one sparked with curiosity and interest in these unknown lands. With snow still lingering, it was nice to get a flat surface to lay our camp upon.
Saku thinks he's camouflaged over there. He's like the little Black Panther. Just taking a rest while I get camp set up.
With camp established, Saku fed, and the kettle boiled, it was now time for supper.
Tonight on the menu for the Woods Fine Cuisine is homemade dehydrated spaghetti I did myself. I've tried it once, it was alright. I had chili on this trip so far, goulash, they've both been good, so no complaints. Hey, you do it yourself and you know where it came from, so 2 thumbs up for the dehydrated homemade foods. Sunrise is just crazy, wow. Oh my God. Me and Zach just enjoyed that sunrise. And now we're enjoying the comforting heat of a morning fire, aren't we, bud? Zach? Morning, buddy. A big day. We're gonna head to Granite Lake today. And that's another big milestone of the trip. Today could be one of the last runs with the old sled. This snow is just day by day receding quickly. Yeah, we're plugging here to Granite Lake, and I say something like 14, 15 kilometers, but whenever
And now, I'm going to let you sit back with us and enjoy the majestic beauty of Newfoundland's woodland caribou.
6. What are you at, boys? Now that is cool. I was just kind of strolling along, and then I picked my head up and boom, I almost walked right into him. They're one of the fine beauties of Newfoundland, the woodland caribou. Man, what a nice animal. Man, that's so beauty. Look at these guys. That's 20 of them I've seen today so far. They're sat back having a feed. Couldn't be bothered by me and Saku, not one bit.
Then about 5 minutes later, there were more.
I'll let them caribou be for now. We were just passing through, weren't we, Zach? Oh man, sick. Sick.
We just pushed through about 1 kilometer of snowless marsh. Back that way. There was a couple of patches of snow, of course, but 90% of it was over soggy, wet marsh that's full of winter drainage. So, slow going today. Today's a slow day. So this is my path now with the sled. It's getting pretty demoralizing now. I've gone for 3.5 hours today. I've only gone probably 3.5, 4 kilometers, and I've been just slogging. We're almost to the canal that leads from Burnt Lake into Granite. That's what's on the menu next. It's not the most appetizing route, but we'll pick our way through. What do you think, bud? We'll make it. Every other step goes like this now, up to pretty much knee height.
In light of spring, which now looked to be in full flight, we made the best of it and kept moving east. In this little tangle, we'd often go ahead, scout a pass, and then come back and grab the sled.
The last few kilometers getting up to the hydro road here on Burnt Lake has been absolutely horrendous. You know, I expected this changeover from winter to spring, and it's thrown at me everything it could.
In remote central Newfoundland, the Bay d'Espoir hydro system is a large hydroelectric development that begins at Victoria Lake and runs 150 kilometers to the Atlantic Ocean. Through a man-made range of dams, dikes, and canals, this water is directed through generating plants. The energy produced accounts for almost 40% of Newfoundland's electrical needs. Over the next several days, we would be in its presence. The employees that get flown in for shift work were around, so we stopped in for a chat and some much appreciated guidance.
Okay, you come down here from Burnt Spillway and you go down the lake and you come right to the granite plant, which you can access Pudoc's Dam and go right on into Millpeg.
Right. All the best, Gary. Okay. Thanks again.
Yep. Careful.
No doubt.
Gary and Eric were the best to me and Saku. They'll always hold a place in my memories of this expedition. Thanks again, boys.
Well, I'm back on the move here after a quick stopover down to the hydro station there. There was a couple of fellas kicking around, good guys, and they gave me a nice cold glass of ginger ale and some crackers and ham for me and Saku, so it was awesome. But we got around 10 kilometers to get to Granite Lake. Look who's still with me. Although there's a bit of friction, the sled's still in tow. Let's see how long I can keep it around for. You never know, I may need it again. Those of you native to the Rock, you know yourselves, just because it's early May doesn't mean there won't be another dumping of snow.
If we were to stay on this road, it would take 130 kilometers through prime wilderness to reach the Trans-Canada Highway. but that was not our path.
What good boy. Right here, in the middle. In the middle. Sit there. Good boy. Good.
Boy, was it ever nice to be in the raft. Oh, how the tides can change in one day.
We have a sleeping sack. Man, buddy could sleep on a log. So we pushed and we made it. We're down here now at the start of Granite Lake. Not the prettiest campsite. We're just behind the man-made rock dam, so not a fan, but it'll do for this evening. There's not a whole lot of firewood around. Dead, dry sticks anyways. It's mostly fresh juniper and some alder bushes, but in amongst there's some wood we can gather, so we'll get a fire going, but it'll be nothing to brag about, that's for sure. So here's our area. Just gonna put it down, thankfully, on some grass. That's a new thing for the trip. It's been all snow.
As the moon phase grew bigger, our time grew longer in this Newfoundland wilderness.
Saku, do you want your food? Go on.
After 4 in a row at the office, we took a day off to air out some damp kit and enjoy the smell of a new season, which finally seemed to be settling in.
How do those socks smell, Saku? That fly just nearly lost his life.
After a few camp chores and wetting my whistle, I needed to mend a wound.
This one's pretty much healed at the moment, but I still want to keep the pressure off it so it doesn't flare back up again. And that's not bad, and I'll put maybe one more across horizontally here. I'm sure there's other ways I could do it, but this seems to work out.
The endless horizon on Granite Lake is still white and revealed no chance for the raft. We may be stuck to the road a little longer.
We had a good off day today, and it's time to hit the bunk. Back at her tomorrow. Morning, bud.
With Granite Lake half frozen and the surrounding land soggy and near snowless, we start the day on the road.
We're just here now, around 6 kilometers into our hike today, and looking out at Granite Lake. Geez, it'd be great to take the shoreline. There is some ice, but it's definitely unsafe at this moment. I mean, I knew we could do it back on Spruce Pond and Burnt Pond River, but not here. We got to take the long, boring road, and it may not be the most exciting way, but we know it's the safest, and that's the main priority. Getting back to the Avalon Peninsula in one piece. So, sticking to the road it is.
It's about 50 kilometers on this dirt road to the mighty Mealpeg Reservoir. From there it'll be back into the trackless country, where we like it best. I can only hope that by then the ice is cleared. Travel by land around the Mealpeg bush would be harsh. With limited rations, we can't afford too long of a delay.
She's torn to shreds. Oh, the old sled ski, she did me well. But today is going to be the last day that it stays with us. And I'll leave it here somewhere on the side of the road, and hopefully a hydro worker will pick it up. But we want to be in the raft. That's where we want to be. We're wasting a pile of energy walking this road. The only thing the sled's doing is collecting rocks and making a racket, scaring away all the animals. Got a decent site here now on the side of a little pond, I'd call it. It's a bit bigger than a gully, but give you a look. Seen a couple ducks out there, so there's a bit of wildlife on the move. But just walking the road today, it makes you wonder how majestic it was in this country before they put that road in here back in the 60s. It's a big land in here, it's a big area, and must have been just beautiful before the road came through. And what a terrible amount of destruction it caused to habitats and everything else. But that's it. That's modernization, I guess. And thankfully you can still break off the side of the road and get a little site like this, and you forget it's even there. So we're going to tuck away for the evening now and call it another day in the books. Today's day 19 for me and old Sack. Hard to believe we're almost at the 3-week mark since we left Robinson's, and we're just chipping along the hydro road now, dreaming of paddling strokes down the giant Lake Mealpeg. So we're hoping by the time we get there it'll be unthawed, and that'll be sweet. But we're starting to feel the effects a little bit now since we left the Burgeo Highway. We've gone around 70 kilometers in 5 travel days. We had taken 1 day off, and it's been some rough going, but we'll push forward. And we're around 525 kilometers out from Cape Royal right now, and I don't like to look at that number too often, but it's a reality, and the thing is, it's always shrinking. Right now it's somewhere around 2 o'clock. This is the latest we've stayed at a camp so far, and I'm just delaying because I know Mealpeg's not on thawed yet, but give it 4 or 5 days and it should be, hopefully anyways. But yeah, we're just checking out the side of this little pond, and a couple of loons around. Oh, Went down the snow hole. Whoopsies. Like I said, it's getting soft now. But yeah, we seen one duck up the road yesterday, but that's it. Not a whole lot going on. Decent afternoon though for a little walk around. And I don't know. We might get going, we might not.
Whoa, that was some serious air time there, kid.
Although it was May 7th and mid-spring, some life was still trying to break free from the hold of winter.
The life of an underwater marsh organism.
Now there's nothing too much exciting about that. We got it lucky. These marsh organisms don't stand a chance with Saku anyways. He's just gonna eat them all. Oh yeah, right? They wanna live, bud. They wanna live. I haven't worked the edge on my hatchet since the trip started, so I figured it was a good chance to do it this evening. And as you can tell, when I get up here it makes a rough noise, and that's where the main nick is. I struck a bit of a rock there, I think, when I was doing some splits the other day.
I'm no expert, but believe the recipe to hone a blade is time, patience, and good technique. Here I use a double-sided stone, one coarse and one fine. I start with the coarse, move to the fine to revive my axe's edge.
There he is, Mr. Loon, singing my favorite tune, my favorite tune. Saku, you like the loon? Saku, how's the bannock looking? Bannock looking good? You gonna get a piece? Yeah, you're gonna get a piece of bannock. Some good. Gonna be some shocking good, buddy. Ain't the bannocks about done, Sack? Try a piece? Try a piece? Oh. And that's some pretty good woods braid right there. Good old-fashioned bannock. Sack, here. I should get a drop of butter and put on it. Wouldn't go stray. Nice little crisp to it too. I
Should have brought more of the stuff, hey buddy?
Sensing Neilpeg was still blocked with ice, and being only 30 kilometers away, we took another day to rest ourselves up. We'd need it later on.
You know, it's funny to think how I still got the sled and snowshoes. Never ever thought I'd have it this late. 170 kilometers from Robinson's, and still kicking around, but obviously sledge tore to shreds, and it'll be left here. And then we got the snowshoes over here, and then the paddles, because I got the raft too, right? So just all over the place here. Season jumping, winter, summer, spring, fall. It's been everything. A mixed bag of tricks here on the rock for this expedition so far. I guarantee you that. Big gust of wind comes by on takedown. Classic. Still some gear in there, sure. So I got quite the load on today. It's just basically I got my snowshoes there on top, see, and my winter pants and that are in the bag there, so taking up a bit extra space. And the sled's here. She's left to rest in peace on the side of the road. I'm going to put a rock on top of it so it doesn't blow anywhere, and hopefully one of the boys now from Hydro or someone comes along and puts it in the truck and disposes of it the correct way, but there's not much I can do about it. She's seen the end of her time, as you can tell. She's pretty banged up. Anyways, that's it. We're on the move today. Let's go. Take care, Sledski. You did us well. Of course we're on the road here, but we're doing good time. Best time of the trip so far. Making around 4 kilometers an hour now.
Carrying a mix of summer and winter gear made for a heavy pack. I rigged a traditional tump line with my belt to take some weight off my shoulders and send it straight down my spine, where it belongs. Frequent breaks also help keep us fresh.
Looks like the long winding road is calling us back for another shift. Come on, Sec! Let's go, buddy! Saku, come on. Heel, Saku. Saku, heel. Saku, heel. Let's go, buddy. 10 more minutes. Finish hard here. We'll sleep well tonight, bud. Whoa, Sack. 22k on the old pistons a day. I'd say that's enough. Oh! Good buddy. Looks like we won't be putting our tent here tonight, Zach. We'll move a few feet to the right or the left, maybe. They're not afraid to give you a sting.
After a long, satisfying day on the trail, I have to say that setting up camp with a beautiful sunset painting the sky is one of the greatest feelings in the world.
The boys got a bumpy sight tonight. Oh, I'm just rolling around trying to find a nice little flat spot to cuddle into. Sack doesn't seem to mind too much, but hey, they can all be good. The thing is, though, after a long day on the move, you're pretty tired. I'd check and fall asleep on a rock right now.
Gonna pack up now and make our way towards Mealpeg, aren't we, Sack? Hey? Gonna go towards the big Mealpeg today or what, bud?
Packing down camp takes a minimum of 30 minutes. But after a week or two, it's just the same as tying your shoes in the morning.
Made her to Mealpeg, baby. Unfortunately, looks like we're going to be here a little while anyways. It's still making its way through the unthawing process, and that's fine. We'll sit back for a couple days at least and figure things out. Behind me here, it's open because that's where the canal flows down from Granite Lake. And it's probably open a couple kilometers out, but I mean Mealpeg is like 35-40 kilometers long. So I don't know, I guess maybe tomorrow we'll get up and paddle out as far as we can. There's a few islands out that way, and I don't mind setting up camp on one of those for a few days. Food situation's getting down. We probably have 13 days worth of food, maybe 12. Now we can stretch it out a little longer than that, but fishing opens up soon, so yeah, we'll get to work here now. So this is a couple more weir houses, they call them. That's where they check the flow of the water. And the main canal itself that comes down from Granite is just over this ridge right here. So we're right in the thick of it. Sure you can't beat a spot like this, man. Just like putting a tent up in the backyard. Perfect little grassy meadow. Definitely the best site so far of the trip. With regards to ease of setup and comfort. But we'll have a good night's sleep tonight, Sack, old bud. Sack's already in La La Land over there, as he typically is at this time of the day. The kid works like a dog out there, boy. You gotta give him credit. He deserves a snooze right now while I put this little house up for him.
In the process of creating this hydro project, artificial streams were made to facilitate the spawning of the brook trout and wananish that are found in these waters. Even the beavers found a new home.
Just out for a cup of tea before bed. Lights out then. Can't wait to see what Mealpeg brings tomorrow.
With the vast main body of Mealpeg still iced, we laid low and stayed patient. One thing that's really important to do before you hit the bunk in the evening is getting some sort of dry sticks or kindling ready for the morning, so you're not dreading hopping out of the bag, especially if it's a cool morning. Whether it's some birch bark or some dry spruce or fir twigs, old man's beard, whatever's available. Right now there's not a whole lot of those items, so I got a dead stick, you know, not super big in diameter, and I cut it in chunks around 3/4 of a foot long. Then I split those chunks into smaller little sections and made some shavings. So that right there should be able to take a spark from a match or a lighter pretty quick and make my morning a lot more enjoyable and effective. Right now, me and Saku are still at Mealpeg hanging out. It's day 2 of resting here, and beautiful day out though, just a dandy. And of course, that's just cutting away at the ice out there. So just as long as this sun keeps up and we get some wind, and that will kind of loosen things up for us hopefully. I plan tomorrow to at least make our way out to a peninsula that's around 2 kilometers, maybe a little more, from here. The hand tells us to head to Mealpeg. She is waiting for us. The time is almost soon to cross the massive body of water. Woo! Woo woo! As you can tell out there now, the little cove area that was probably frozen 300 or 400 yards out when we came here is now gone. That could be nothing but good news for us as we head out into Mealpeg itself. Today's the day we make the move, and I'm excited to see what's out there. That's why it's a tricky shoreline. I'm gonna get a fire going. You are the man! So we're just gonna try to save as much energy as we can. There's no point in going around flat out.